Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek Syndicate episode. What episode is it?
I don't know.
I was trying to just say welcome to Geek Syndicate.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek. It's so weird. I'm not used to saying it without the word episode. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek Syndicate. I am Monts, and with me, as always, is...
Nuge.
Hey, what's up, Nuge?
Nuge. What up? What?
Yeah. What's new in the world of Nuge? Wow. It's all a bit of rock and roll, but you are.
The word according to Nuge is like white noise. Tumbleweed. It's that thing. I don't know if it's just the year that's done this to me, or maybe it's just getting older and I should learn new language so my memory doesn't go. But you know what I mean? It's just that thing of people keep asking me, so what you been up to? I'm like, I went to Marks and Spencer's yesterday in a mask.
Yeah, I hear you. Except, recently I was in Poland, so that was kind of a little bit out there. So yeah, that was good. Except 2.5 weeks later, my luggage just finally turned up.
Oh yeah, you said you lost your luggage.
That's 2.5 weeks. Man.
I mean, that's not something that Carry On film. Man.
Oh man, I tell you.
Is it all intact though?
Yeah, it's all there. So it's all good. Yeah.
Okay. Respect to the Polish authorities then. Yeah,
no, that was from Amsterdam. I went back through Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
It was a bit tight. I had 50-minute turnaround to change planes. It's like din, 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 in my head. That's how I get motivated. I just have a theme tune playing in my head the whole time. So yeah, that's good. So what we thought we would do today is recently Disney have just had a huge announcement. I was reading through their announcement about all the things that are coming out, Marvel, Star Wars, and by the end of the article, I was out of breath. I was tired.
It's just stupid. The amount of stuff they got coming is just ridiculous.
So we thought we would cut it in half and look at today we'd look at all the Star Wars stuff, another day we'll look at all the Disney stuff that's coming and see where we're at with it. But first I've got a question. And I'll ask the question first, and afterwards I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Okay.
Is it too much?
If you're asking the 11-year-old version of me, the answer is hell no.
Yeah.
If you're asking the kind of 51-year-old version of me, the answer is probably yes. No, I'll tell you what it is. I think what it is looking at all the announcements and stuff is what I realise is just how much of a I think a stranglehold sounds like a harsh term, but I'm going to use it. How much of a stranglehold Disney has on our creative enjoyment.
Yeah.
And although I'm sure when we go through it, I'm going to be like, these all, I'm in. I kind of also want to see some different stuff, and what my worry is with all of these things coming at us, that it might stop some truly original TV shows from getting made,
All hail Netflix at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, and you can make the same argument with Netflix, Netflix have got this stranglehold, but there's so much creativity coming out of Netflix, because a lot of it is coming out of their their foreign shows and stuff like that. There's just so much out there. There's a lot of different stuff. But the difference is even though it is Netflix, that it's coming out of different production companies. Get what I'm saying? Whereas all these Disney stuff, it's all coming out of one company, and it's two universes.
Pretty much. I mean, there were other announcements, but that's all I could think about is Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I like the Monopoly angle is definitely a huge one. But the other one for me is kind of personal in that, you know how it is. We come from a time when if there was anything geeky on, you had to watch it.
Yeah, I know.
You had to, because there was nothing else. I have a hard time getting out of that mindset. I'm 52 years old. I've got 3 young children. I've got work to be doing. I can't keep up. I don't want to be just stuck in Star Wars and Marvel land. So, for instance, we watched The Queen's Gambit. Loved it. I want a bit of diversity in my watching. But I can already... So what I've said to myself is, all of these releases, I will not be able to watch them. And I can feel deep in my heart this FOMO, this fear of missing out already setting in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to watch everything, but I can't. It's too much. It's too much.
So maybe the way to approach this is basically looking at it from the point of view of like, you know, you list out the show and it's, are we going to watch it? Or is it one for the silent pit?
Whatever we say, we're probably going to watch it anyway.
I know.
It's like...
Yeah, I ain't going to watch that. No, I'm in, man. I'm in.
All right. So the first one coming up with is... So this is one that's already out, but there's 2 words that come after it. So The Mandalorian, Season 3. I take it you're in for Season 3.
I'm in for Season 3. I mean, I don't even want to waste time because we've got shows to go through. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I could dig into the reasons why, but let's be honest, it's The Mandalorian.
Right. Okay. So that's as done.
It's given.
So the first one is described as a rousing spy thriller. It's called Andor. Starring Diego Luna, who played what's his name? Cassian
Andor, yeah.
In the movie Rogue One. Now this is interesting because we know how Cassian Andor's story ends. So there's one part of me that goes, well, where's the tension then? Because you know he's gonna make it. You know? So it's a Rogue One prequel. If you like, and it's a series, isn't it? Yes, a TV series.
Yeah.
Scheduled for 2022.
To answer the tension thing, to a certain extent, there's so many shows you could say that with, where, let's be honest, you kind of know that the main character isn't going to die. You know that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily have a problem with the fact of knowing that every situation this dude's going to walk into, he's going to survive. Because I think you can create other kinds of stakes and he can lose people along the way and blah, blah, blah. So I think the fact that he's kind of immortal for the show, you know what I mean, is fine. I'm in for this one. Reason being that I liked his character in Rogue One, and I liked the fact that he was pretty dark at the start of that film.
Yeah,
because there's a bit at the start where he was chatting to, he was like a contact or something. He was getting a bit of information, and then it looked like they were going to get rumbled. He just took the guy out.
Well, there was someone. So you know the website Quora, where people just ask questions and other people answer.
Yeah.
So I kind of get this digest, and one of them, obviously, it's worked me out. So I keep getting Star Wars and Star Trek questions coming up. And someone said, "What's the darkest thing? What's the saddest thing from Star Wars, the whole canon?" And someone said it's this, and it was a picture of Cassian Andor saying, like, I've been fighting the Empire since I was 6.
Yeah.
Goes, how sad is it that the Empire screwed this guy up so much that he's basically been fighting, he's been in the darkness since he was 6. And I was like, yeah, he kind of would be dark if that's all he's known, man. You know?
Yeah, you could do, like I said, I think, and there's even a line or something where he sort of hints that he's done a lot of like shady stuff, and he didn't want it to be all for nothing, and that was part of the reason why he kind of went back. Was her name Jin? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why he kind of went back with her and stuff like that. So no, I'm really interested in this. And again, it's that showing the rebellion, which I think is something Mandalorian's been doing. This idea of showing the kind of grey areas of the rebellion. So yeah, I'm in, man.
So it's also starring Alan Tudyk, who is the hardest working man since he did Firefly.
Yeah, man.
And so he's always quality. But
he's a droid, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, that's right. RS something. So I was not invested in his narrative So I was like, okay, if there's one I've got to cut off the list, it's gonna be this one. But you kind of talked me round. Damn you.
This ain't gonna go the way we think it is it?
No.
All right, next up, man.
All right, next up is... So here's a series called Obi-Wan Kenobi.
About... I mean, is there some blurb?
Right. So this show is set to take place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith and prior to A New Hope, with Hayden Christensen returning to play Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So,
right.
I'm just going to so it's been pushed from 2020 to January 21, so that's coming soon. I know what I think. Do you want to go first?
My thing is, I loved Obi-Wan in the original trilogy. Just the way they used him, and he was just aging, knight, and he had that one last crusade. Do you know what I mean? And he meets his kind of pupil and blah blah. I just loved his arc, And although I think Ewan McGregor did a good job bringing him to life as a younger Obi-Wan, he still didn't really hold he had 3 films and he still didn't really hold the candle to Alec Guinness for me.
No.
And even when they used Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars cartoon, I thought he was better than the way they used Ewan McGregor. Other than a couple of scenes, to be fair, in Revenge of the Sith, I thought he was brilliant.
Well, just to interrupt, the ongoing problem with the prequels, you had brilliant actors and none of them shone.
Yeah.
So there was a bigger problem going on there. So, yeah.
But the dialogue that they have before they have the big fight, I thought was a wicked scene. That was, I was like, yeah, I was almost sitting there going, this is what I wanted, But I just feel I've seen enough of Obi-Wan. I don't need to see him hanging out at Tatooine. I just don't need to see it. And
so hold on, let me see that again. When did it say it was set? So it's set after.
It's got to be set after
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it's got to be. Beru and
I feel like that is a complete story arc.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? And if you've watched Clones, then you've seen him in action in his glory days.
Yeah.
You've seen, how he ends up on Tatooine, and you've seen what happens after that. What? I'm not interested in. I love Obi-Wan. I'm not interested in the narrative.
No, and I think the other thing is as well is
I am curious about seeing Hayden Christensen do. Curiosity. If anything was going to bring me back, it would just be curiosity.
Well, I'm curious about Hayden Christensen, but surely he's going to be in the Darth Vader get-up, because the whole point was he couldn't survive outside of the get-up.
Mm.
And even if they do show him outside the get-up, he's just going to be in a lot of prosthetics. B, they're never going to interact.
No.
Because the whole point of Star Wars was like they'd never met each other since that duel. Unless they're going to unpick it somehow. Do you know what I mean? And almost make it like they've had a couple of skirmishes until they...
Which then feels like you're shoehorning in, some minor storylines.
I don't think you're going to go to all that trouble unless you're really brave. I don't think you're going to go to all the trouble of having Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen reprising the roles and not find a way for the two of them to interact somehow.
Yeah, and that's...
And I'm not interested in that. Sorry.
But also, you know what I mean? Star Wars, it's like, my old master. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you thought he was dead.
Yeah, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, me
Next,
too.
Sarlacc pit.
Okay. So, Mandalorian has got 2 spin-offs coming out of it. And so the first we're going to talk about is simply called Ahsoka. So, for those who don't know, Ahsoka is one of my favourite characters in Star Wars, that we got to know in the Clone Wars cartoon, where it showed she was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. Over the years she was in it, she really developed. And then she had a little, she showed up in Rebels as well, and the mystery they created around this, because basically Clone Wars finished, you think, what's happened to Ahsoka? And then, she's an essential part of Star Wars canon now, essential. What happened to her? And then you got Rebels, and she was amazing in Rebels, and then she turned up in Mandalorian. A lot of people didn't really check for her Mandalorian. I quite liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah. So now she's got her old spin-off. How do you feel about that?
I'm involved. I'm involved for that one. Another thing as well, going back to the, necessarily people not liking it. At the end of the day, people's opinions can vary and differ. But I think the joy of giving her own show, and we'll work on the basis it is going to be Rosario Dawson.
It is?
It is? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. That it gives her a chance to grow into the role and expand her acting chops with the character, because she had a 45-minute episode to give us Ahsoka. I thought she did a really good job, but I think give her a series, but I'm interested when I say give her a series. I'm interested to see what type of series we get, and when it's going to be set.
It says it will take place within the timeline of The Mandalorian. That's all it says. We don't really know what it's about. My initial thing was, I love the mystery of her, and I think I didn't really want a series that's going to take apart the nuts and bolts of it. I'd love there to be a series in which she turns up, like kind of, fairly regularly. She turns up, does her stuff, goes away again.
Like a bit of a Ronin. I think I kind of agree. She does work really well, coming peppered in, like seasoning. You know what I mean? Just a bit of
seasoning,
like a bit of seasonal, just kind of peppered in over the chicken.
Yeah.
No, actually, now that you say that, I think you're right. So I almost want to say I'm out for that reason.
I know,
but I'd still watch it.
I know I'm not. It's a Ahsoka. I know. The danger of that is, though, if they don't hit it, because of where I'm coming from my head, I'm going to complain loudly if they don't hit it.
Yeah, I
can feel that. So I'm actually putting no/yes because I'm so torn on that one. Second spin-off is called, and I admit I love this title, Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, I heard the title, but I haven't read anything about it.
So this is what it says. Yeah, this is what the article says. Second live-action spin-off, also set within the timeline of Mandalorian, and we're guessing. This is what the blurb says. We're guessing the story will revolve around the Sector Rangers, a sort of intergalactic police force that was established by the Galactic Republic.
I'm guessing that's some serious expanded universe stuff, because I've never heard of them.
So I reckon that's like, so in the Mandalorian, it's flying along one day and there's a couple of Xwings come alongside and say, oh, look, we need your transponder code. Have you seen anything? And I reckon it's those guys. I reckon it's like New Republic guys that just patrol the rim.
So X-Wing sort of guys that are kind of just doing their business, like X-Wing cops.
X-Wing cops. Now we're talking.
Forget your Rangers New Republic. That's too
Star
fancy,
Wars,
man.
X-Wing cops.
X-Wing cops.
It's kind of like chips in outer space.
Every episode ends with an interstellar smash up. Do you know what I mean?
They better have a 1980s theme tune to that one. Bit of bongos.
See, all I can think of now is X-Wing Cops. That's all I can think of. X-Wing Cops was filmed before a live studio audience.
They just need someone called Puncharello in it.
Oh man.
So the question is, are you up for Star Wars X-Wing Cops?
I was going to say, I'm up for X-Wing Cops. I don't know about Rangers of the New Republic anymore. Do you know what? I don't know enough about it. So I think because of that reason, at the moment, what the little blurb that you kind of gave me didn't really fill me with excitement. The fact that I had to fill my own excitement by calling it X-Wing Cops you know what I mean? And if I've got to drop shows because I've not got time to watch all of them, then at the moment that one's.
Do you know what? For the purpose of this, let's go brutal.
Yeah, Silent Pit for that one.
It's in the pit.
It's in the pit.
I feel like we need the sound effects.
Yeah.
All right, this one. Okay, I already know your answer to it.
Okay.
Star Wars, The Bad Batch.
You know I'm in for that. You know I'm in for that show.
In like Flint.
In for that show.
So for those who don't know, in the Clone Wars cartoon, in the final season, we're introduced to a unit called the Bad Batch. Now they don't work to the beat of the Clone Wars drum. Basically, they're clones that have just didn't work out, but they've all got their own set of skills, and together they make a formidable team. And they kind of like answer to no one, and they go out and do business. And I think, was it a 4 episodes?
I think it was a 4-episode arc.
They had a 4-episode arc in the last season of Clone Wars, and they were awesome. And I remember watching this going, I'd watch these guys. I'd watch a spin-off with these guys. And here it is.
Yeah.
So this one don't even need that much conversation.
No, I mean, and also as well, which was good because you could get behind it much more. There's a trailer for it.
Is it? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's a trailer on YouTube. So the fact that because it's animated as well, the fact that there's a trailer tells me that they're well on the way to get it for it to be ready.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's one of my probably top 3 ones I'm excited about, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
This one is going to be really interesting. So let's see what you think. So it's coming next year in April. And the showrunner is the showrunner for Russian Doll. Did you see Russian Doll? I think it came out last.
Yeah, I did. It's one she's reliving the same day, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That was really good.
That was really good. So if there's anything that makes me sit up to begin with, it's that. So this is called Star Wars The Acolyte.
Ooh.
Let's see what it says. This takes place... a new series that takes place in a different part of the Star Wars timeline than all the other projects.
Hallelujah.
Boy, that was heartfelt, man.
You know what I mean?
Right, go on. Why'd you say it with such vigor?
So when I say a completely different timeline, do we know what timeline that is?
So I'm going to have to look this up because I don't really know what this means. I mean, I can take a guess. It says in the High Republic era.
That's way back.
Way back.
Yeah. I think that's way before, like, because you had the Old Republic, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I think it says the High Republic era was a period of time that lasted for around 200 years between approximately 300 years BBY. Oh, okay. I'm guessing that's before Yavin. I don't know.
Before Yavin, yeah. I know I've heard that as a thing, but I don't know what that means.
Basically, this is when the Galactic Republic was said to be at its height, and it was also a golden age of the Jedi.
Right, okay.
I thought that's what the Old Republic was. Boy, Jedi's had a lot of golden ages, man.
Yeah,
So, okay. So I'm all for that. Because it's so far removed that you can tell your own stories and you're not tied to the Skywalker legacy.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell your own stories. And it doesn't necessarily mean acolyte. Does it say anything more? Is it literally?
It does.
Okay.
I just wanted to get your reaction to
Yeah.
being in a different corner of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I like that, man.
The series is described as a mystery thriller. Set in the story takes viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers.
Yeah. In. Just show me where to sign up, man. I'm in, man.
All right.
I mean, no, because I like you said, it's a different timeline, so I'm already in. B, I wanted to hear what the blurb was because Acolyte already made me think of Dark Side. I'm wondering if it's going to be some sort of cult type thing. I don't know, but yeah. I like that, man.
Mystery thriller. You reckon it could be? It's led by female characters. All it says. But they must know more than that if it's coming out in April. I don't know.
What? April next year?
It says April 2020 is what it says.
April 2021, you mean?
Sorry, that's a lie. In April 2020, Lucasfilm confirmed. Okay, that's me getting all excited.
It's out next week.
This is my guess that it's about someone trying to infiltrate the growing cult of the Sith.
Yeah. And then it's whether or not they could protect that whole danger of going on deep undercover.
Yeah.
Is that, you know what I mean? Do you kind of become what you're hunting?
Yeah.
I like the sound of that, man.
That's my guess. We'll see.
Yeah. So to me, at the moment, up the top, I got. I was gonna say Big Batch. It's not Big Batch. Bad Batch. I got Bad Batch, and I got Acolyte. Because Mandalorian's a given, and because the Mandalorian isn't new, do you know what I mean? To me, it's a given. So they're my two top picks at the moment. I think the last one is going to be my number 3.
Lando.
Okay, it wasn't. I could have sworn there's another animated one.
I thought that as well, but it's not in this list.
I could have sworn there was another one. I could swear there's another one.
I thought there was as well. I'll have a look in a moment.
Yeah.
Lando.
Yeah.
So this was announced in 2020, December. So that's recent. It's a limited series about Lando Calrissian. Mm-hmm. No mention was made of Donald Glover. So it's unclear if the role will be recast. So that's all we've got is a limited series about Lando.
I'd really struggle now if they did Lando and it wasn't Donald Glover.
I'm right there with you.
Because, and don't get me wrong, they could cast someone else and he could be brilliant, you know what I mean? But I still think if they dropped, and I keep saying this, if they dropped all the origin stuff from Solo, it would have taken what was a great film, because I really enjoyed Solo, to be like, yeah, that film was money. If it had just been Solo and Lando going on an adventure and Chewie going on an adventure, that's all it is, a standalone film like that, it would have worked so much better. But Donald Glover, he just dropped as Lando. I can't see them, the best one in the world, I can't see them putting all this money into a limited series Lando show and it's going to be Billy D.
No. It's
quite sad that looking at the where people are talking about the show, like some of the news sites and stuff, they're not even mentioning Billy D. Williams, which I think is a bit disgraceful. Yeah, everyone's talking about Donald Glover and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, come on, man. You know what I mean? So I'm interested, but if you were telling me Donald Glover was signed up, I would be all in.
Yeah. Guy's just got charm, man.
You should see the picture I'm seeing.
Lando charisma.
yeah. He's just got a picture. He's got that fur coat thing that he's bussing, and he's just doing this little thing. He was so good. It's a smile, man. He was so good. He was so good.
So good. Last one. I looked it up.
Yep.
Animated one. Star Wars Visions. So this is again announced in December, and it's an animated anthology of 10 short films by different creators set in different things in the Star Wars universe.
See, I still think it's probably not. I've probably completely got it wrong. I still think there was another one. There was another animated one. But I quite like the sound of Visions. Again, so long as they use this as an excuse to really branch out in the short films that they do.
Mm.
What I don't want to see is like, we've given it to this anime guy so he can do the Death Star trench run again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to see some different stuff. But yeah, no, I like the sound of that though.
Do you know what we've missed?
What?
So we've just been talking about TV shows. It's the movies they've announced. Hold on. We've completely missed Rogue Squadron. Which is basically...
it's been done by Patty Jenkins, isn't it? Who did Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Rogue Squadron. It says Rogue Squadron was a Rebel Alliance starfighter squadron founded by Luke Skywalker during the Galactic Civil War. They were named for Rogue One, the team of rebels led by Jyn Erso who sacrificed themselves to steal the Death Star plans. The squadron was officially formed during the Galactic Empire's attack on Makatar space docks and fought in a number of engagements, including the Battle of Hoth. Yeah, that's on StarWarsFandom.com. That's who the Rogue Squadron are.
Okay.
And it's got a quote from Luke Skywalker. It says, "Rogue Squadron, form up." So, yeah.
I'm just looking to see if there's any... We don't really know anything about this, do we?
No, Patty says, "We're doing something original."
I'm really excited about it. I just hope they give me an original story that isn't... I think it's going to be really difficult to do a Rogue Squadron which isn't necessarily tied heavily into the trilogy stuff. But what I don't want is an origin story of Rogue Squadron. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have it so that's maybe it's a rookie pilot coming into Rogue Squadron. He or she's got to kind of learn the ropes or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind they do that, but what I don't want it to be is an origin story of like, after what happened we should call ourselves Rogue Squadron, and then
if it is getting, if it's a squadron put together by Luke Skywalker, they're going to put Luke in and then like do whatever magic they do to make him young.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know. That's what I'm really interested in, is what are they going to do? Because in some ways, if they recast, I think people might lose their minds, but if they recast Luke and you stick him front and center in there, and you kind of set it between Star Wars and Empire, I could go for that, because there was this whole thing of after Star Wars, when he blew up the Death Star, suddenly he got promoted between films, didn't he? Yeah. And that's when he was running Rogue Squadron, because they were all in snow speeders, weren't they? And he was like a commander then, because he was Commander Skywalker or whatever. And Wedge was kind of taking orders from him and stuff like that. So I could go for that.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
But I don't know. I don't know if they'll go down that route of sticking in like another actor as Luke Skywalker, given the the reception of Solo. I don't know. So I think what we might get is a Rogue Squadron without Luke Skywalker.
We shall see. Yeah. I've got two for you really quickly.
Okay.
Ain't going to take much time. A droid story.
Nope.
Yep.
And I don't even need to know what that's about.
Just expect something light-hearted and fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And this one, Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie. That's all we know.
It's a no until I know more. I'm not just going to jump on board. I know the guy does good stuff. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But to be honest, unless it's Dave Filoni, he's the only dude that if you tell me Dave Filoni's they're giving him a trilogy to do, you don't even have to tell me what it is. I'm in. Yep.
I hear you. So this is what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 announcements. We've said yes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Oh no, 6 if you include Visions. 6 of them. We've said no to 2 of them. We're not even talking about Taika Waititi's thing yet.
No.
So, but up top, we've got the Bad Batch, the Acolyte, and I'm intrigued by Visions myself. I'm looking forward to Rogue Squadron, but I'm intrigued by Visions. I need to know the idea of an anthology show.
Yeah, I need to know more about the High Republic one. Can't just, do you know what I mean?
That's the Acolyte.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mystery thriller.
Yeah, well, it's a mystery, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, there you go. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They announced 10 Star Wars things, man. That's madness.
It is madness. It is madness. I can't, and my problem now is I can't get behind the Rangers one without thinking about
X-Wing Cops.
X-Wing Cops. So
I hope somebody does like an old, a retro theme tune for it.
Like the streets
Retro
of San Francisco.
credits. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A coup and production.
You got that? No, I've got the opening to Chips in my head. That's what I've got, man.
Yeah, my head's a bit more gritty. Carl Malden plays like one of the X-Wing pilots. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, it's John and Punch.
Or Telly Savalas is like the captain. Do you know what I mean? The no-nonsense captain is Telly Savalas. Do you know what I mean? I want your alliance badges.
Take my money. Take my money.
You suspended, and then they got to go rogue.
Hey, see what you did there? Yeah.
Man, they're not going to do that, are they?
No. Tragedy.
That'd be so good.
Got all excited, man.
I know. In my head, it's a real concept now.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I know I could feel my disappointment when like more details come out. I can tell you that.
Right.
So, people, you got our opinion. Let us know yours. You know how to do it. The geeks at geeksyndicate.co.uk. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the other one. Is there another one?
Nope.
TikTok. We're not on TikTok.
Not on TikTok.
No, we're not.
Nope.
And of course, check out the website, geeksyndicate.co.uk. And don't forget, you can, if you like what we're doing, you can, give us the price of a coffee at kofi.com/geeksyndicate.
Or become a patron on our Patreon site.
Do that.
Yeah.
So, happy Christmas, everybody, and we're hoping to get another one in before the end of the year where we'll talk about the Marvel announcements. So until then, Geek Syndicate,
we out.